There's a moment in a man's life where he realizes something heavy. And if you haven't realized this, then I'm going to drop something heavy on you. Kings, closure isn't coming. Not the apology, not the explanation, not the accountability, not the clarity, not the conversation you rehearse in your head 100 times. Most men spend years waiting for closure that was never going to arrive from people who don't think they owe it, from situations that ended without warning, from relationships that died without honesty, from betrayals that never got addressed. But here's the truth. Closure is not given. Closure is chosen. And the moment a man stops chasing closure, he stops chasing the past. Today, we're talking about the masculine shift that happens when you finally stop needing answers to move forward. Let's unpack that. Men chase closure because they want control. You want to control how the story ends, how people see you, how people remember you, how the situation is defined, how your pain is justified. But closure is not control. It's dependency. It's waiting for someone else to give you permission to move on. And kings don't wait for permission. Here's the part most men don't like to admit. The people who hurt you already moved on. They're not thinking about the moment that broke you. They're not replaying the conversation. They're not analyzing the damage. They're not losing any sleep over the impact. And that's why closure feels impossible. Because you're expecting emotional accountability from people who don't have emotional maturity. Closure requires self-awareness. Most people don't have that. And then there's the pain that comes from those unfinished conversations. Unfinished conversations create mental loops. You keep mentally being in that place that broke you, which causes emotional replay. The way you felt when they broke you, you keep replaying it, causing imaginary arguments. Who should have said, could have said, which causes unanswered questions, unresolved anger, and lingering confusion. Men get stuck here. You keep trying to rewrite the ending in your head. You keep trying to make sense of something that didn't make sense when it happened. But closure isn't about finishing a conversation. Closure is about ending the attachment. But I know what you're saying because I've been there too. If I could just talk to them. See, we convince ourselves, if I could just talk to them, if I could just explain, if I could just get clarity, if I could just hear their side. But that's not closure. That's bargaining. You're bargaining with your pain. You're bargaining with your ego. You're bargaining with your hope. And every time you chase that conversation, you reopen that wound. Closure doesn't come from talking. Closure comes from accepting. Acceptance is the real closure. Acceptance is not agreement. And it's not forgiveness. And it's not peace. Acceptance is alignment. It's saying it happened, it hurt, it changed me, and I'm done trying to make it make sense. Acceptance is the moment you stop needing answers to heal. Acceptance is the moment you stop needing people to understand your pain. Acceptance is the moment you stop needing closure to move forward. I want to talk to you about the identity shift after you stop chasing closure. Because when a man stops chasing closure, he becomes calmer. He becomes clearer, more grounded, less reactive and more intentional, less attached and more self-respecting, more future-focused. Because closure keeps you tied to the past. Acceptance frees you from it. You stop replaying the moment. You start rewriting the story. You stop waiting for the apology. You stop needing the explanation. You become a man who moves forward without permission. See, because closure isn't a door someone else closes. Closure is not a conversation. Closure is not a text. Closure is not a phone call. It is not an apology. It is not a confession. Closure is a decision. It's the moment you say, I'm done trying to understand why it happened. I'm done trying to understand why they did it. I'm done trying to understand what it meant. I'm done trying to understand what I could have done differently. Closure is not a door someone else closes. Closure is a door you stop standing in front of. You know your ego plays a role in chasing closure. Men don't chase closure for peace. You chase it for ego. Your ego wants to be right. Your ego wants to be understood. Your ego wants to be justified, wants to be acknowledged. Your ego wants to be validated. But ego is a terrible negotiator. Ego will keep you tied to situations that ended long ago. Ego will keep you replaying moments that no longer matter. Ego will keep you waiting for people who aren't coming back. Closure becomes easier when you stop trying to protect your ego and start trying to protect your future. See, there's an emotional debt people never replay. When someone hurts you, they create an emotional debt. You think they owe you an apology, an explanation, accountability, honesty, closure. But emotional debt is rarely repaid. People who hurt you often don't see the damage, don't care about the impact, don't understand the weight, don't value your pain, or don't have the emotional tools to respond. Waiting for emotional repayment keeps you stuck. Choosing closure frees you from that debt entirely. But let's not get it twisted. Closure is a skill, not a moment. Closure is not something that just happens to you. It's something you learn to create. Closure is emotional discipline, mental maturity, spiritual clarity, psychological strength, self-respect. Closure is a skill you build through reflection, acceptance, detachment, accountability, forward movement. The more you practice closure, the less you need it from others. Kings, here's your assignment. Stop chasing closure. Stop waiting for people to explain what they did. Stop waiting for people to acknowledge how they hurt you. Stop waiting for people to give you the ending you deserve. You don't need closure to move on. You need acceptance to move forward. Starting today, stop replaying the moment. Stop rewriting the story. Stop expecting accountability. Stop waiting for clarity. Stop needing answers. Stop chasing closure. Choose your ending. Choose your peace. Choose your future. Closure is not a gift. It's not a conversation. It's not a moment. Closure is a choice. In the moment you stop chasing closure, you stop chasing the past. This has been the Anatomy of a King. And today, you learn one of the most liberating truths a man could ever embrace. You don't need closure to heal. You need courage to accept. Walk forward, walk free, walk finish. And remember, what you don't change, you choose. And this change can't afford excuses. I see you on the next Peace.